Don't sell your parents' homes to landlords. Be part of the solution, not the problem. I'm a real estate agent in PA. The one super effectual act the working class can do to help ourselves is to sell your properties to people who will live in the home, not landlords or investors. The person who owned our home previously took our lower offer because he didn't want to sell to developers. He changed our lives. I encourage the same thing. Yes, you can't always tell if someone is lying about actually living in the house, but you can at least not sell to an LLC. My great-grandparents' house and my grandparents' house and property were all sold to cover their medical bills in old age. I find it hard to believe that anyone other than the filthy rich inherits anything anymore. A local article stated that 30% of single-family homes in the area are now rentals, with the majority of those owned by corporations. National average of rental percentage was 12% in 2012, and this article expected the rate here to go up to 40% rentals by 2030. Hard to know someone's intentions, they don't always tell you. What's way more useful is to convince your HOAs to ban renting of properties in neighborhoods. That'll do it. What's worse is my friend just went to look at a house to rent. I asked how it went. He started going off. I need a 650 credit score. I need pay stubs showing earnings at least 3x the rent. I also need 2 years of rental history for them to check. If I had all that, I would be buying, not renting. This does help, but the larger problem is still the credit and banking systems not being able to get a mortgage is why people are forced to rent. Get rid of the illness, not the symptoms. I live in a duplex where my entire significant other's family has lived at some point. Grandparents died in the downstairs. Parents live in the back. Cousins and uncles rotated out of upstairs. Last year the longtime landlord sold the house to someone out of state. It makes me feel so icky knowing that generations of a single family have cared for this house for a lifetime now. Yet an out-of-state investment company can demand we pay more rent while our 1950s cabinets fall off their original hardware. Real estate agents are a big part of the problem. It's quite difficult to know what the buyer plans to do with the house, and you cannot control it after they purchase. When my parents sold my childhood home, the buyer went on and on about how much he loved and how much his son was going to love living there after he finished fixing it up. My parents really ate up everything he said. He renovated the whole house and had it back on the market in less than 3 months, asking about double. It took him longer than he wanted, but eventually prices got to his asking price and he got his money in less than a year from when he purchased it. He sold to an investor and it has been a rental ever since. Good idea, but class consciousness is non-existent. My VA home loan is practically worthless in this market. Told my wife this: when we sell our home, I'd rather accept less from an individual or family than get a better deal with a fund or investor. We need a scaling secondary home tax that goes up if you are making money off it. Sometimes you need to unload a property and can't choose who you sell it to. You, as a real estate agent, should know this. My mother lived in PA and passed in 2020, and my father is gone as well, so I inherited the house but did not want it. I live out of state and cannot move back to PA due to my job, and no one in my family wanted to buy it. And it was an older home that needed repairs. Not in bad shape, but definitely needed some TLC that I did not have the money or time to put into it. I put it on the market last year, and despite how fast houses were selling, it then took me 3 months to even get one offer, which I had to take. Because in the meantime I had to not only pay her mortgage and utilities but also my own. I'm single with one income and no friends or family that could help financially. And I could not keep that up until I found someone who I knew for sure would live in the home. Thankfully, it happened to work out that the family who bought it was looking for their first home to own and still lives there, and I love seeing what they have done with the place. It worked out, but I had to take a chance and jump on the offer when it came in. Even better, if you inherit a house, sell it to a friend who needs a house for a good price. I've committed to myself that if I inherit the house I grew up in and one of my friends is still renting, they'll be getting that place for like $50,000 or something. I tend to agree, but my absolute worst neighbor is a homeowner that I'm pretty sure the elderly folks sold to try to be helpful. The renters in my neighborhood are far quieter and more respectful than this family. Sigh. Money will always be more important than ideology. Isn't that legally not allowable? Like you can't pick who you sell it to if they offer your price? And as we know, the working class sell homes not because they need the money but because they just have too many homes. The listing agent's job is to get the highest offer and best terms for the seller. If a big company makes the highest offer with no contingency, all cash, you have a duty to present that to the seller. If you're using your personal prejudices to influence the seller, that's a violation of the terms of being a realtor.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.